What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video, and this is going to be more of a story with just a practice session. So if you want to skip to the story, time codes are down below. Other than that, here's what I worked on. One, not letting my right arm swing to the left of my head. Wasn't perfect, but definitely better than it was before. Keeping that lower release, and then keeping the timing well. I also hold the ball out a little further from me to help with the push-off because I got that advice. Another thing I want to know. The oil pattern on this lane is the 2021 national competition opening, so it's not the house pattern. That means the very edge of the lane, super oily, and then there's also like this speed bump of oil 2/3 down the lane, which essentially makes it so that the lane doesn't help you at all. If you're too far right, it's gonna slide right on into the gutter. If you're ever so slightly too left, it's going straight into the left gutter. And I found out I basically get 2 boards worth of error. If I get any more than 2 boards worth of error, I'm not even gonna hit any pins. But again, the score doesn't really matter. I'm mainly working on my form. But I did want to note that it is a completely different game when you're playing on not a house pattern. So here's story time. I was 18, I get this job for an aircraft cleaning business, and that's the same thing as like a car cleaning business, but for airplanes. You clean the outside, you clean the inside, bada bing, bada boom, done. I go in to do my interview, the guy seemed normal. Turns out we were supposed to clean this airplane together. That's like the interviews, to clean an airplane to see how well I work with him. But the person who was supposed to unlock the airplane wasn't there, and another person has to unlock the airplane and regulate who's in and out, because obviously those commercial jetliners, they want to know who's in and out of those airplanes, messing with everything. So we can't get in. He cancels the interview. I go home, and then he still hires me the next day. So the next day, the first day, what we're supposed to do is we start in Provo Airport, clean 2 airplanes, and then we drive up to Salt Lake International and clean some more airplanes. So I meet him down in Provo Airport, I believe. Oh no, I meet him up in Salt Lake. We drive together down to Provo Airport. Okay, when we're driving down, he only complained about his job. He did not say one good thing about the job at all. He was like, I don't like the people here, I don't like my boss here, I don't like cleaning airplanes, I don't get to see my kids, I work too much, and this is not fun. Essentially, during the 45-minute drive. And you know when your boss is complaining about the job to the person they're training for, what's supposed to be worse than the job that they're doing? It's probably not a good sign. But anyways, I ignore the red flags. We finish, go on down to Provo, and we start on the airplanes. We first start working on this Cirrus airplane. And Cirruses are small, they're the same size as Diamonds or Cessna. It's pretty small. But really heavy with oil and grease, and I thought that they would have special chemicals or a pressure washer to clean these airplanes. You know, some of them get really big. No, I was wrong. He gives me a spray bottle of normal cleaning chemical, and he gives me a rag, and he's like, "This is what we're doing to clean the entire airplane." What? These airplanes have such a large surface area, and not only is it wiping your kitchen table, they have oil, grease, bugs, tire residue from when they land. This stuff is so hard to get off. It is so much work to clean this little airplane, and it's miserable. It's not fun. I don't think anybody there liked what they were doing. I mean, nobody wants to clean grease off the bottom of an airplane. So then we work on the next airplane. This is like a jet. It's pretty big. I don't know what type of jet it was. But its cockpit, where the nose is, was probably 20 feet high. Maybe a little bit more than 20 feet high. And we need to clean the windshield. And the guy just looks at me, he's like, "Oh, go grab the big ladder and go clean the windshield." And obviously I do. I'm not going to not listen to him. But the ladder was so high. And I know they hadn't scanned any of my paperwork yet. So if I get hurt, that's just on me. And they didn't give me any training. No advice. There was just no sense. They were just go do it, and good luck. Okay, alright. So then finally we make it up to Salt Lake. We finish that, we go up to Salt Lake. At this point I'm like, this is the worst. They don't have pressure washers, they don't have real equipment. Nobody here likes what they're doing. And I can clearly tell that this is a very unsafe and uncaring environment. So, we get up, and essentially the lunch break. And again, we go through this restricted area. And the only reason I can be in this restricted area of the airport, is where the story comes into play, the title, is because I'm with him and he has a clearance badge. So So we go into like the office where they keep some of the equipment and then also like all the paperwork. So they scan all my stuff, done. Great. At this point, I'm still unsure about this job. So then finally, he tells me, he's like, I'm gonna be gone for 2 hours. Like, I gotta go work and do an interview with someone else. So you just need to hang out here, eat your lunch, and just sit here for 2 hours. I was like, okay, whatever. So I'm in the office, and I sit there and I'm like, I am not doing this. I quit. I don't want to do this. It's the worst. I'm not going to do this at all. So I literally wait for him to leave, sit there for 20 minutes, eat my lunch, contemplating whether or not I'm going to run away. So I come to the conclusion, yes, I'm going to run away. And I didn't want them to have all of my ID stuff because I was scared. And obviously they couldn't have done anything, but I didn't know that at the time. So I open up the filing cabinet where I saw him put my identification stuff. I take like the scans of my license and everything, and I just like take them, and I run, and I leave. Well, I'm not like physically running, but I am slowly, casually escaping throughout the airport. And I finally find the exit door, and I escape the restricted section, and I was like, as long as I look like I know what I'm doing, nobody's gonna question me, and then nobody did. And I still kind of feel a little bit bad for running away on them, but I texted him and I was like, this isn't gonna work, I ran away. And he was like, oh wow, okay. But that was the end of the story today. I hope you liked it. I hope the bowling was okay. I'll have more videos coming soon. If you like it, comment, subscribe again. It really helps me out. Later!